It could so easily become cartoon-like, and the beauty of having those feet step out that everyone knows and loves, but it is still firmly rooted in truth, that is a superpower of this lot.
Over the years, of course, you probably got the question every time someone spoke to you anywhere, so what's going on? When's Ted Lasso coming back? What do you hear? What do you know? A couple years where you had to answer those questions. What did you know? What did you hear? What were you thinking? What did you hope?
A couple of years when I was going, we're obviously going to be back. Even when I hear Jason didn't even think we were coming back, but I could have told him we were coming back. Ultimately, because I don't know whether I was just in denial that it had finished or in some kind of weird headspace that it was going to continue. I just thought there's no way with the quality of our, Jedi writing team, and the fact that, even in Jason, he is such a huge supporter of women's sports universally. I just thought, come on, Keely's given Rebecca this dossier of blooming women's football. Come on, for God's sake, it's just an obvious thing that it's going to be fucking magic. So get on with it.
Like, what took them so long?
What took you so long? I knew we were coming back anyway.
So were you texting each other during this hiatus and sort of like, what do you hear? What do you know? What was that like?
I think for me it was initially, I've heard it's coming back. I don't know yet if they want me back.
Can you just listen to her?
No, but that was the thing. And then it was like, but I think I'm hearing they do. So hopefully, but I think just the joy of it being the kind of the continuation of the incredible story we've gotten to tell so far, and then this kind of absolute fresh take on it, and it being something about a women's team and this incredible new cast that we get to watch flourish and grow was something that just like, what an honor to get to do that again, because we experienced that with the first team, and I think it was such a profound thing to be a part of and to watch these incredible actors become a family together, and I'm really excited to see that happen again with the new incredible actors that we have. So yeah, I think, we were texting and we were really excited and we were like, it's gonna be about the women's team.
Yeah. Brendan, obviously, you all left sort of these breadcrumbs, sort of that was the natural progression of the show and what was going to happen next. What were you, in your conversations with Jason, what were those like as he sort of got closer to deciding, okay, it's time?
I definitely wanted to come back, and Jason and I live like a 10 minutes walk away from each other. Uphill for me, downhill for him, so faster for him. I kind of took it as my job to never discuss it with him, because I knew a million people would be discussing it with him and pressing about it all the time, including some who have every right to do so when that and should be, but also people in corner suites and who are behind desks and stuff, who have monetary and business reasons to ask. Grown-ups, they're called. Yes, thank you. That's the term. I just really decided I'm never going to bring it up. I'm never ever going to bring it up, because he's also particularly resistant to anything like a sales pitch, including about really good things. If someone was like, hey man, there's a guy named Jonas Salk and he wants you to put a little money on this polio vaccine, he'd be like, what's he after though, really? So I didn't want to trigger that reflex in him ever. So I just never brought it up. And then finally one day I got a text I think we should do it. Oh, great. And I think it should be the women's team. Great. And that was it. And then we're off.
And then off to the races. At what point did the two of you hear that this was really going to happen? And what was your reaction other than Hannah's finally?
I had a meeting where I sat down with Jason, and what was really lovely about that for me was that we met in the same place that we had met to start the whole thing off for season 1. And just because I wanted to hear I did want to ask him questions and ask if what what he might want for Keely this year, which I didn't get a lot of answers, but I got a few, which was very much about the women's team. And then it was just exciting, the idea of actually getting to be around the people that we'd spent all this time with, because they're people that become like an unusual family, you know, and a family that you love, and you quite often have to love from afar because you go off and people go and do exciting things in different places. But the idea of bringing everybody back into a space and getting to play again was really exciting, because also it's a job that I've learned a lot from. And I think I'm somebody that loves learning as much as possible. Whether I can retain all the information sometimes is questionable, but I do love to try. So I was excited, just the idea of it brimming that we were coming back, right? And I remember us talking about that.
I was just dreading getting back into my quite tight pencil skirts. And I was thinking, how much time have I got to, you know, stop eating things?
But once you're back into that character,
Yeah,
like,
I mean, hers was about, you know, what's the character arc of Keely? Mine was, we both love wearing our characters' wardrobes rather than it feeling like costumes. So I was thinking, right, you've put this on yourself, girl. You've got to get back into some of the old gear.
I mean, there's that moment in the first episode back where you get out of the SUV and it's your high heels, you're sort of the go-go boots, and it's like, oh, they're back.
I know. Do you know that's the charm of this, I think. You know, it could so easily become cartoon-like, and the beauty of having those feet step out that everyone knows and loves, but it is still firmly rooted in truth. That is a superpower of this lot.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Well, Annette, for you, there's a moment in that first episode where we see Ted back at his desk in Kansas City, and he's got photos, tchotchkes from his time. And there it is. Now, have you been doing that so often that you broke it? What happened?
I'd like to say it's a sport injury, but it wasn't. It was taking a tight sock off. And you can laugh as much as you like. Are you joking? No, I'm not. Finger down the back of my heel. Oh.
What is your socks made of?
I'm now doing it. I'm now doing exercises, and that is to take the splint off and stretch my finger, and then I have to put it very gently and not squeeze my wrist. That's the sort of exercise I like.
That's funny on your middle finger. That's fun.
I know, you
I blame it on Ted.
need to get that middle finger back in shape because you're going to be using it a lot.
Yes.
What did you, I mean, from what I've seen so far, we see a little more of your character this season. And you know, the pub is such an important part of this show, important part of Richmond.
I'm glad you think so.
Yeah.
I believe that very strongly.
And you know, what did you think about returning and sort of, you know, it's a place that people love to see on the show.
Yeah. It's fantastic. I mean, I get stopped all the time. I believe in the actual pub in Richmond, they have a whole room dedicated to Ted now, and there is on the wall a painting of May with a heart. So I'm thinking of having a tattoo. I think it's obligatory. Anyone that goes to the pub needs to have that tattoo on their backside. Okay.
Oh, I thought you were going to get the tattoo.
Oh, yeah, I'll start the trend. You know, we can all compare.
Brendan, why don't you embarrass our three newbies here? Yes. So obviously you had to get the right person for Alice Chilton, since it's such a pivotal role. You know, someone who's going to be a little toe-to-toe with Ted and bring a new sort of interesting mix to the coach's corner. Talk a little bit about Tanya and sort of what she brought to the show.
We knew early on that this character was going to be really important, and we were excited about casting this character, and we saw a bunch of auditions that didn't quite get it. It's like they were playing the comedy of it a little too hard and not like the truth of it. And they're playing the like you know, oh, this fucking guy, you know, sort of vibe, which like we sort of had that. And then Tanya's video was one of the ones that we get in the writers' room every once in a while that just stops the room in its tracks, and like we yell down the hall to anyone else who's in their offices, like, hey, you gotta come see this! You gotta come see this! We got Alice! We got Alice!
What was it like to, create something new? And what do you make of Alice Chilton?
She's so delicious for an actor because she's kind of everything. She's a lot. She's a human being, which is what I think is so great about this show, is that the characters feel real because everyone is everything, and everyone is so much more than what they seem at the beginning. And Alice, she kind of starts off as this spiky, cold shrew, there's a lovely kind of journey of her just, softening and peeling back, and she's lovely.
And she's definitely becoming part of the Beard and Ted sort of trifecta now, which is kind of fun to see her slowly understand what these two crazy Americans are talking about.
Yeah.
So there'll be more fun to be had there.
Yeah.
All right. Talk about Jude and Boots.
So we came up with the character of Boots for a couple of reasons. One is, looking back at the team we had before, just like going down the positions, like we had stories built around a center back and a wide midfielder and a fullback who became a winger, and central midfielders and strikers. But we didn't really have stories per se about our goalkeeper, Zero, and historically it is widely known in football that goalkeepers, as we say in episode 2, as you've seen, are fucking nuts. So we thought it was high time that we got some of that. And Jude's was another audition that was just different from everyone else's. Like a lot of people were just playing the comedy, and Jude was just playing it pretty straight. And as kind of happened with Phil for Jamie Tart. I confess to my mistake here. Like, Jude was not top of the list of most people in the writers' room. Everyone liked her for something. We weren't sure what. But Jason was like, no, that's Boots. That's Boots. That's Boots right there. Let's go. We're done. And as you will see, as the season progresses, that has turned out to be very, very true. We are done. Jude Mack, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
So Jude, talk a little bit about Boots, and on the level of sort of a little eccentric as a goalie, where does Boots fit?
I think she's at a 10 on that scale. Yeah, it's like a gift to play a character who's just a bit unhinged. It means every new script you're like, that's what we're doing today, okay, which is just so much fun. And I think, as you were saying, it's like, but she's rooted in truth. So there's all this arrogance and there's all this bluff, but she's grounded in truth, and there's loads of vulnerability there, and she is desperate for connection and community, and that's what she gets from this lot. Yeah.
I forgot one thing about the naming of the character, Boots. When we first did the first commercial in 2013, it was me and Jason and Joe Kelly and Jason's manager, Jeff Chetty, who is a great guy and a great character. And in London, in the UK, they have a chain. Their Dwayne Reed is called Boots. There's a Boots on every corner. You get everything you need at Boots. And we'd be shooting or done for the day. Like, hey, Jeff, we're gonna play Catan. You want to play? No, I gotta go to Boots. Like, what? Yeah, they got. You can get over the counter aspirin with codeine. The Boots is amazing. And the next morning, like, how was your night? I went to 3 different Boots. So we now just call him Boots. And so Boots Quinn is a nod to Jason's manager, Jeff Boots Chetty.
I thought it was because she doesn't wear gloves, but she does wear boots.
Well, yeah, in the story of the show, but before that, there was a historical precedent.
Do Boots the chemists know that?
He also introduced himself to me like that, and I was like, okay, crazy man. I'm Boots. I was like, we're all Boots, it's fine.
I always love those, the origin stories. Well, let's get to Abbie, and
Abbie!
finally some Gemma, which I don't think they had a chance to see Gemma in episode 2, right? So we'll get to...
You'll get plenty in the remaining episodes. Abbie and also Faye Marseille, who appears in 3, who you might recognize from Andor and Game of Thrones, but not with this one. Just in a whole different world. But they kind of complete the set of what the team is going to be for the rest of the season. And building the character of Gemma was we just knew that we had to have some kind of like really dynamic offensive player just for practical narrative reasons. But also like we didn't want to do too much of like just meeting new people all the time. And so that seemed like an opportunity where, okay, what if Gemma and, as you'll see, Alice have a history with each other, and perhaps that history is not entirely smooth. So that will be something that we're following for them all the way through. And then auditions-wise, I think it was the last big part that got cast. It was just taking a while. I couldn't quite get it. Like the scenes we were putting out, we weren't quite happy with either for the audition reads. And then finally towards the end, the whole room was like, what are we thinking? It's Abbie. It's clearly Abbie. And we all got around like looking at each other like Abbie. So you'll meet her properly going forward. But remember her now. It's Abbie Hern.
There we go. So Abbie, tell us a little bit about Gemma, and what do you make of your character, and what sort of it's been like joining this team.
It's been phenomenal joining the team. If you guys love the team half as much as we love each other, even a fraction as much as we love each other, then we are in for a treat. And like you said, like coming into something with like a history, it helped that me and Tanya hated each other before too. We didn't. We were in love straight away. We would literally discuss before every scene, just like, okay, we're in love, and now we have to hate each other. Great, let's go. It was really fun.
What was it like for the two of you to be out there on the pitch? And how much soccer or football experience did the two of you have in coming into this? And what's it like to film that?
We did a boot camp before we did any scenes, and we really thought we were the shit. When it was just the actors, and we had amazing trainers. We thought we were the absolute dog's bollocks, and then they brought in the footballers, and we were humbled so hard, so quickly.
It was really embarrassing day when they all came to play with us.
Yeah, they all came to play, and we were terrified because they're all super competitive too. So we were all just like, oh, this is real. We have to play football now.
So they weren't being nice to us. They were footballers. They were like, catch!
Especially you. They're like hurling balls.
Oh, give me some
Jude
gloves, would ya?
You guys actually had it slightly better than the dudes did, because like when the dudes, had their actor boot camp and then met the real players, that was before the show was a thing, and no one knew this would ever be anything. So the real footballers basically beat the shit out of all the actors you've come to love so much, because they had no stature whatsoever. And I remember Brett getting kicked with a ball straight in the face, totally unnecessarily. Like, that guy did that on purpose. There's no way. So this time we knew to like tell the footballers, like, hey, these actors
We need their faces.
we need their faces. Be nice to them. Help them along.
Not
you're
the
not
face.
you're not trying to beat them. They are on your team, please. And I wish we'd thought of that 7 years ago.
Well, it's a different world now, and you guys are coming into a show that is so well established, so well known, and so what was that anticipation? What were your nerves like in realizing that you're joining this show that's won multiple Emmys, that is beloved by everyone in this room? Was there a little bit of intimidation factor? What was that like getting on set for the first time?
Imagine if we were like, no. Obviously, it was absolutely terrifying.
Yeah,
I was
a
shitting
lot
myself.
of pressure. My uncle said, "Don't ruin my favourite show." Yes,
uncle.
But like that, like in a real way, it was like, wow, don't fuck it up, because people
Like it was a
love
threat. Like your uncle threatened you.
Yeah, truly.
I still feel like a fan. I feel like I'm one of you guys. I just have a really good seat. and then they're like, anyway, let's talk about the character. And I'm like, oh yeah, I have to be in it now. Great.
Well, let's talk about the real love story at the heart of Ted Lasso, and of course, that's Rebecca and Keely. The relationship, the friendship is strong, but there is some tension, right? I mean, because Rebecca still has a business to run. Keely is so excited about this, but at the end of the day, you got to make it work. So what is that going to be like for these two characters, and how do you describe where this friendship is and where it's going?
I think it's going to go to the next level of friendship, where it becomes something even deeper, even bigger, even more important, and an even greater example of what it is to actually explore female friendships that are real life, which is sometimes you have to guide your friends in a direction so that they are learning things and they are allowed to also get things wrong so they learn things more. But then the key to it all is communicating.
Yeah, and the friendship is never, even though it is tried, it is never truly tested to the point of it breaking. We, as a couple, in real life, and them as a couple, there is an unspoken, we're not ultimately going anywhere, but we will always call each other out on things. And it's really lovely that as much as Keely needs Rebecca to further that which she doesn't realize she doesn't know, so does Rebecca. She has to be called out, and the main person she listens to is Keely. None more so, she has learnt to listen and needs to when Alice comes along. And I don't believe that Rebecca would have been able to listen and react had she not had this relationship with Keely first. So this is pivotal, this friendship.
Yeah, when we think about Rebecca in that first season, those first couple of episodes of Ted Lasso to now, I mean, talk about sort of a character growth, talk about just sort of what these relationships have meant to that character. What's that been like, and how have you seen the progression of your character over the years?
I mean, I've been fiercely protective of her from the word go. When people used to say she was like the Darth, did you ever hear anyone call her the Darth Vader of Ted? I was like, you can shut the fuck up. She was a woman scorned, wronged, usurped, all of it. Yeah. And just amazing, the joy every single minute that I've had this girl rippling through my bloodstream. As someone who's 6'2" in heels, I had never had a role come to me like this. The joy then of playing it over many seasons, that you can finesse quietly in some ways, has been really incredible. It's an arc that I will always be so grateful for, and long may it continue.
True that.
Yeah. So Juno, how would you describe where Keely and Roy Kent are now?
Next question.
Really, really good friends.
Just maybe an extra really in that. I mean, I think obviously there's chemistry there, right? And it's a beautiful thing to do on camera with Brett Goldstein. He is such a brilliant human, brilliant actor, and kind soul and nurturing person. And I'm so proud of all the things that he's doing. Partly, I think he can't be here tonight because one of them too. But and I think getting to explore that relationship in a way where there's a dynamic that they haven't really been spending a lot of time together speaks volumes, because it means if they're around each other, probably it would slip into something very easily again that isn't necessarily the right timing. And as we know with their relationship, timing is key. And I don't know if it's going to be the right time now. I'm just going to default to Brendan saying, maybe we're going to get another season, right? So we can explore loads of things.
When did I say that? What? Huh?
No, I'm just going to say, I'm just adding that out there to you.
We're going to explore all sorts of things in many ways, hopefully at some point.
But
Okay,
also,
just don't tell Jason.
I did want to just say too, also thing that's cool about the relationship with the two of us this year is I think for me it was another way to explore how women's sports are not at the same place, even closely to how men are seen. And I think that was a really, really smart way of being able to educate us as actors, but also as the world and characters that are exploring this new journey together, of being able to pepper in an education for Keely that she's learning things in real time, but so were we, about the struggles of women's sport in today's world. And so that was really actually really important for me, because I learned a lot through our relationship this year and the stats and the difficulties that Keely was also learning. So that was actually kind of a really profound part of the relationship that Rebecca and Keely go through as well.
Yeah, I think this has an opportunity to really get people discussing some of these issues that are brought up, and sort of seeing firsthand what's going on. I love, by the way, that May becomes such a supporter of this team, and it's...
Why not? We're talking about sportswomen and how tricky it is for them, but actresses. And here you have a show that now incorporates an entire team of them, and it was... It's a huge gift to all of us, I think. You know, it just is enormous. And they're effervescent. I mean, the pub scenes, when they come in, it's kind of this huge wave goes over you.
Yeah, the team,
It's full of life.
one minor spoiler, the team is in the pub far more than the men's team ever was. And yes, coincidentally, my mother was a bartender, but that has nothing to do with it.
Anything that, in terms of guest stars, or we see a lot of returning faces, I don't know how much you can say or tease?
I cannot say anything. But just to manage expectations, one thing is, yes, that we have the great Tracy Ullman is guest starring in the, I believe, 7
Tracy
episodes.
Ullman.
Yeah.
I
she's
felt
coming.
like I'd won a competition to work with her.
Yeah.
I've loved her all my life.
And the both of you get to do a lot with Tracy, which is incredible. That must have been like a career moment. So fantastic.
Big time.
But in terms of like cameos and stuff, like we have so many new people we're trying to introduce and get people to get used to. Even the smallest cameo, if it's a big enough name, can like kind of suck the energy away from what else is happening in an episode. So we've been very, very cautious with our cameos for now until people are used to the new folks.
Yeah, but nonetheless, there's a lot of familiar faces on our TV screens, and we're so happy to have Ted Lasso back. So every week for the next 10 weeks, right? Hit your Apple TV. Thank you so much. It is the return of Ted Lasso, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.